Welcome back, I'm back with some more goodness. Today I'm going to be talking about the collaboration between Nike Air Jordan and Jordan 1 Low with Nigel Sylvester, Better With Time. It's the same old story as I'm sure it is with you. It's a pair that when I saw teased, I like the look of. I'm partial to Air Jordan 1, even though I know they're out of favour. I still think they're a really classic silhouette and definitely a pair that I wear and buy occasionally when a nice pair comes out, and this is a nice pair. So I'm going to go over all the details that you need to know, the size, the cost, the fit, all that good stuff, so you can make your mind up if you're considering this pair, whether it's something you want to pick up. So I'm not going to front and pretend that I know loads about Nigel Sylvester. A bit like the SB pair of 95s that I reviewed the other day, I'm not a skateboarder and I haven't BMX'd in decades. So I don't really know much about him, except that he's a BMXer, I think maybe from New York. But I do know that he's been collaborating with Jordan Brand since 2017, and he started with a pair of Air Jordan 1 highs, which I think flew under the radar a little bit. There was a pair out at the time, and I really can't remember which pair it was. It might have been a Union pair, which was out at a similar time, and I do feel like all the attention was given to that pair of Air Jordan 1 highs. So his kind of creamy off-white pair with all the scuffs certainly wasn't my radar till a little bit later. Then next up, he released a new model called the RM, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling at all. I think they're a completely ugly silhouette, not for me whatsoever. And then more recently was the Brick by Brick pair, the red pair, which I've never had in hand, but it's not a pair I've chased down for a number of reasons. They're expensive, not really into red Jordan 4s. I sold my Toros fairly recently, but I mean, if I got them in hand for retail, I'm sure I would probably change my mind. And then this pair was teased, and this is the pair here, is the Air Jordan 1 Low, and it's called Better With Time. So when I saw the features and the details of this pair, I was pretty impressed and thought I'd like to get them in hand. Definitely a pair I could see myself wearing. These retail for £145. I was able to get my pair from Offspring, and I think I was really glad to get them for retail. They're currently sitting in the UK at around £200 on the resale market on eBay. I never really checked the StockX first because their prices can be ridiculous, and I find eBay really good with authentication, and just I buy all my resale trainers from there personally. I think they probably will go up in price, so it will be interesting to see the demand on these, but I do know that people were able to go into Offspring in store, and they had pairs up until the afternoon of the Saturday. I was able to snag a pair, and I'm really happy that I did. So let me run over some of the key details. So an important detail is the box. We know you can't wear the box, but as you can see, it's got bike air. It has some little distress marks on the bike, which goes with the theme Better Over Time. The actual product is called Air Jordan 1 Retro LW OG Nitro. I don't know what the LW or the Nitro stands for, and the colorway is black muslin varsity red. You got the bike insignia, which he hand drew. The lid, I'm not gonna lie, does feel a little bit cheaper than the average box, but it's not the end of the world. And it comes in a nice color as well. So nice box often means nice product, so that's a detail I'm happy with. So as usual in this era, this is one of those pairs that I could only kind of make my mind up about online, looking at other people's reviews, looking at the photos, etc. So my concerns with this pair, kind of looking at it in terms of detail, were I didn't like the idea that the swoosh was absent. There's no actual material on the swoosh. I didn't like the idea that they're kind of pre-scuffed. I wanted to know how heavily they were pre-scuffed, because although I like the idea of an aged shoe, I don't want to buy a brand new trainer that's kind of mashed up before I get it. There's degrees of aging. And I'm also really conscious of the Air Jordan 1 and its shape. So I recently bought these Obsidian lows, and I've got loads of pairs of highs of Air Jordan 1s. And Air Jordan 1s are one of the trainers that I probably have the most pairs of. I've sold loads of pairs, still a few more to go, but I know how they wear. They are particularly comfortable, but they go with everything, really, I think. That's why I think they're such a classic shoe. One of the problems though with the Air Jordan 1, and this is a low pair of Obsidians that I have, is when you wear them, the toe box can get really creased and misshapen, as you can see on this pair here. And it is off-putting. They have to be stuffed. I have a fairly narrow foot, I think, around this kind of area. So I pull my laces, I don't have them big baggy, I don't have a big spread foot like that. No disrespect to the wide footers whatsoever, and I actually think I have a wide splay, but I pull them relatively tight, and it just kind of, if you're not wearing jeans or trousers that cover these, then I think they can look a bit dodgy, lows. I think highs sit really well because the extra height, the way your trouser fits over them is altered by the height of the high pairs, but the low pairs are a different kettle of fish. Although I would say lows go really well with shorts and that kind of thing. So one of my concerns was how they actually look. I haven't put them on feet yet, but the shape on these is really good. I think one of the problems with Air Jordan 1s is that they look good unboxed and DS, and then having them on foot is a different option, especially if you beat them up. So that was one of my little concerns as well. I'm happy to say so far in hand, they definitely exceed my expectations. So let me talk about some of the things that I was concerned about. Colorway is obviously important, and one of the great things about this shoe is that it's predominantly black. That makes it completely wearable. You can wear black at all times as far as I'm concerned. I think the quality of leather looks pretty good to me. The benchmark for me leather-wise are my Travis Scott reverse mochas. These have a really great tumbled leather and they're just a great shoe in terms of material quality. This pair is not at that standard, but they're not majorly far off. Leather quality for me, really good. That swoosh that is missing on this side is in a kind of shiny material, and actually you've got these 3M lines sketched over the top. It was kind of about him talking about how he used to doodle when he was younger and the creative process and all that. Nice storytelling. You can actually feel the ridges of these 3M lines, and you get these 3M lines on the back as well, and I think that's a really good touch. So having the swoosh missing isn't really a problem. You do have the swoosh on the inside, and I don't really like the material of this. I was hoping it would have been a nice tumbled leather, but it's not. Occasionally I think Nike produce product that looks really good and good quality, but actually isn't reality. This isn't one of those pairs. I think this pair lives up to the expectations of a collab with Nigel Sylvester. Another feature that I was a little bit worried about was the kind of depth and detail of the scuff marks. Each pair has been individually distressed by hand, so they're all unique, which is, I think, an amazing touch. And my pair have been really lightly distressed, and that's exactly what I wanted. So there are some distress marks that you can see on the toe box, but they're not deep gouges like I was concerned with. I would have liked the Wings logo at the back to have been stitched in. That would have made my day. The Howard Lows had that stitched in. Obviously the Travis Scotts have it stitched in as well. And I just think for the price point, it's nice to have stitched product. I prefer that personally, but it's not the end of the world. You got the Bike Air Cross branding, and you got the distressed midsole, and then this kind of aged look underneath. So I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with this pair. So yeah, those are some details that I think you'd appreciate. They come with two different pairs of laces, a red pair and a black pair, and they are already pre-laced, as you can see, with this sail pair that already come in the trainer. One last detail that I forgot to say, which is a good one for the nerds like me, is that this has been given a Travis Scott treatment in terms of, I know there are different types of AJ1 lows. This has the 8 lace holes, whereas this pair is the kind of more inline basic version. This has a 7. It feels like Nigel Sylvester's got some clout and can stamp his vision on the top sort of tier of Jordan product. So yeah, really good. Mini swoosh, fantastic. All right, so details there. Quality on this pair, really good, really happy with. I'll put them on feet so you can get a sense of them. I haven't actually tried this pair on, as you can see, but I can guarantee that true to size is what you should wear. Having worn so many pairs of Jordan 1s over so many years, some people feel that Jordan 1 lows, you can go half down. That's a general rule of loads of people. I think lots of people seem to want a snugger fit than I personally want. I just want a comfortable fit where my toes are not squashed or there's no kind of discomfort as I'm moving. So I went true to size with 11 here, and that's what I would recommend. So overall, it's a pair that I'm really happy with. It's a pair that's exceeded my expectations. Materials are on point. Colorway is on point, storytelling is on point, price £145 is good for retail. I'd have felt differently had I had to pay resale £200, but I think it's a great pair for the price. It's always good when you get things for retail. I was reading something online the other day when someone was saying that 2025 has been the best year for trainer buying ever. And I couldn't make a statement as big as that because I just haven't been buying trainers for as long as trainers have been out. But I would say there have been some absolutely fantastic pairs this year. They really have. I did a review, about 20 people watched it, of this pair, the Soul 2.0s. This for me, trainer of the year could be. Really love this pair. And then recently I got this pair in as well. I've got a review of this pair, the 95 SBs. These pairs are just crazy. I keep finding myself picking this pair up and looking at this leather section here and just looking at the quality of the materials. This is really something special. And I put a Diadora behind here because I was able to buy this pair recently for £150 when they retailed at 300. It's a pair I always had in the wrong size, à ma manière. Diadoras, shattered backboards are sitting. Reimagined UNC Jordan 1s have gone into sale. New Balance are going into sale. All different types of pairs that I've had my eye on. Jordan 4 cements are sitting. For me, these aren't bad things. I think this is what I dreamed of probably in 2017, 2018, that era when trainer buying got stupid. And you know, loads of people who are in it, in my opinion, not for the culture, and it is a cultural thing, I think, trainer buying, have gone. So people like us, real fans of trainers, are able to pick these pairs up, and I think it's a great time, I really do. I'm trying to not buy trainers, but Air Tech's coming out. These are pairs that when I'm 60, 65, when I'm much older, I'll still be wearing, hopefully. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I do think this is one of those times that people might talk about in 10, 15 years when trainers are really available. And I hope long may it continue. And I can't believe that Undefeated 4s are coming out. I really, fingers crossed, hope I can get that pair. That'll be my last pair. But just when I think I've finished buying trainers, pairs like this come along. So if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, please comment, please share it with someone who you think might enjoy the video, and subscribe even better. I'm really making an effort to try and push my subscribers as far as I can. I appreciate every view. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.